Born in Albany, Georgia. I had 3 brothers. I have 2 living brothers now. I was the second oldest, or the 3rd youngest. We were military brats. It was all 4 boys, so we were always roughhousing around and causing havoc for my folk most of the time. But it was good. We had a good upbringing. Hardworking. Both of them worked most of their lifetimes while we were growing up. They were very disciplined, very strict. Air Force, yes. We moved a lot, not as much as a lot of other people do, but we moved here to March Air Force Base in 1974. That's my dad's last station before he retired. And I lived out here for about 8 years before I moved to LA. I lived in Columbus, Georgia for a while, South Carolina, back to Georgia, Missouri, up to Alaska in the early 60s, then back to Missouri, and then back to Alaska a year later, and then down here in March. He had one 18-month tour to Japan, but I was too young to remember it. As a kid, I loved Alaska. I mean, kids don't care if it's cold or hot or anything like that. I went all through high school and some of my junior high in Alaska. And that's unusual for any kid to do nowadays, any military kid, to be that long in one location. I had a really good time up there. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't go back, except to visit. I don't want any more snow. My father was a very disciplined man. He was very strict in his rules, or the rules he was raised in, and passing those down to us. But he was also fair. My mom was always the strong person in the family. She did have a career for a while. She worked full-time when we were in Alaska. After we moved down here in March, she stayed at home. My dad did all the work. But she worked raising 4 boys. Not until I reached my 17, 18-year-old time frame. That was in 74 when I first moved here to March. My very first job was being the janitor in one of the facilities on base, and my responsibility was cleaning the men's and women's bathrooms. That started my whole career to where I ended up retiring. Not as a janitor, all interconnected to where I got to where I was. And through March out here, there was a extension program done through Southern Illinois University at Carbondale. I signed up for and took classes out here and did some other work along the way. And it took me about 18 years to get my Bachelor of Science degree, because I worked full time since I was 16. It was occupational education. So basically it's teaching people, watching people, listening to people, see what they do, and then developing programs and training materials to help them do their jobs better. Predominantly for most of my working career was in configuration management. And configuration management is a discipline typically within the engineering field, but it could also be in the manufacturing or operations side of the house, where engineers make designs of everything that a company builds or produces, and they make a lot of drawings that define what the product is. Mm-hmm. And they're also notorious for making unauthorized changes, because all of a sudden their mind says, oh, this is better, make a design change. Well, our job is to be basically a police to make sure that all the changes that are made are authorized. All the stakeholders that support the program are involved in the decision making whether or not the change should be made or not. That was the first 30 years of my career. And then I became a manager to bring in new people, teach them how to do their job well so they can become configuration managers. That's what I left the company from when I had my stroke in 2015. I had the stroke in July of 2015. I was in a coma for 6 weeks in the hospital for 6 more months after that. The company put me out on permanent disability, and so did Social Security. I've been recuperating ever since. No, I am gay, and I have had 2 relationships. One was a 9-year relationship, the other was a 25-year relationship. Well, right now my only active hobby is gardening, which I've done for years. I love doing it. They have the flower beds, the 4 beds out back there. Right now I'm taking care of those, and we've got some vegetables growing it, but predominantly flowers. I enjoyed cooking a lot. I was pretty good at cooking. Oh, I love making homemade lasagna. I did local type traveling. Like, I've probably taken 10 cruises to Mexico. I really enjoyed those. Napa Valley and Russian River and places around California. I mean, I've been to Texas and to Boston, to Philadelphia and all that, but it was all work related. After I was here in Moreno Valley area, I got a job in Marina del Rey, a few miles from the ocean. I got addicted to it, so from that point on, I kept getting jobs where I lived within 3 or 4 miles of the ocean the whole time. And I just love that climate out there. I moved to Renaissance Village March 18th of this year, so I'm just at 5 months. Well, the one I enjoy the most is doing the gardening in the residence garden. If Smyrna would leave me alone, I could spend 5 hours a day out there every day. But I do bingo and bocce and blackjack and card games and rummy cube. So I keep myself fairly busy. And exercises, both the stretch class and the Jerry Fit class. I do those every other day whenever they have them scheduled. The fact that I have a separate apartment that is mine and I'm responsible for it, I do enjoy that. But I also like having somebody cooking 3 meals for me a day and doing my laundry and all that. Can't complain.